Welcome to my little space, where heart and hook stitch up a place, where we can together make a refuge, safe for all our sake. With the eerie prevalence of AI-generated images going around all over the place, and seeing a few people's Christmas AI photos, I wanted to make my own. So I just made this collage out of previous photos of mine that I found, items that I've made that I thought were kind of Christmassy. So here is my Christmas collage instead of AI generated image. In following this bonnet pattern by Rohan Made Accessories, she indicates to attach charms and chains and such. And I don't have a ton of hardware and charms, but I grabbed what I had to show my customer. And fortunately, she decided she didn't want all of that. So we just did coconut shell buttons and those purple tassels included with all the fun, fancy yarns. Hardware isn't really my thing so much. I just haven't had much experience with it and I don't have a lot to choose from, but I have no problem stocking up on some bulk buys of like charms and stuff down the line if that becomes a thing in my shop. Oh, hi there. Don't mind me, I'm just stitching some breasts onto my doll. This is my next Nana in progress. This is going to be named after a gal I know, Joanna. So this is gonna be Nana Joanna. I love that rhyme. And this is a gal I met. I admittedly I don't know her that well, but during the time that I was trying to gig as much as I could as a singer in LA, she was working also doing the same thing I was, working as a sub for this one particular church when they needed somebody to sub for one of the section leaders. And so I got to know her there, sang with her, got to watch her perform some solos, and she impressed me. She's got such a powerhouse. She's a powerhouse of a soprano, and just a lovely human being. Someone who you meet them and you're like, I want to make people feel like that person makes people feel. So I wanted to name this one after her. And I didn't show any of the progress pictures. Any of the progress in video. So I'll show the progress pictures here real quick. And I figured I would hop on here and chat while I'm stitching these last bits on. So she'll still need some sort of unique feature or embroidery or like applique. I'm not sure yet what I want to do with this one. We'll see. But tomorrow is Wednesday, so this one will be ready to post on time. And tomorrow being Wednesday, it's also tomorrow, Christmas Eve. And this year, I actually don't have anything crocheted as gifts for people, like for my family members. Usually what I've done for Christmas time with the kids in my life is I'll ask them to put in a request. Is there anything that you would like me to crochet for you? And they always have some pretty awesome recommendations. Not recommendations, but requests. But this year what I'm going to do is I'm going to have each of them sort of shop my yarns and pull out one or more yarns that appeal to them in terms of like the color, and I will take note. And what I plan to do is make a blanket for each of them over the course of the next year, and then have them ready for them by next Christmas. So it's like a Christmas gift to each of them that counts for both Christmases. It spans both Christmases, because they'll be able to. It'll be kind of exciting, I would think, for them to see me working on the blankets throughout the year. I was thinking I would just sort of jump back and forth between all 4 of the kids' blanket projects. And I have a design in mind. This is a design of Mars, and it's sort of a really cool spiral look where it looks like the whole blanket is like different colors spiraling into each other. But really, it's a really clever construction that she did of a square that has a spiral that when you put them up against each other and you match up the colors just right, they all kind of spiral and swirl together. So I thought that would be really cool if I did something like that. I don't know. I'm not completely sure yet how I want to do that, whether I want to do them all the same pattern blanket or not. I kind of think I want to, but then have them all select a few colors. The way the pattern is written, it looks like you can use up to 6 colors. And ultimately, I like the idea of having them all pick 1 or 2 colors, and then I can go from there and pick complementary colors to fill it out, along with maybe some neutrals as well. I would love for these, and I think I'm going to do like throw blanket size. I would love for these to kind of go with them into adulthood, and not just be, like a kid thing that they get tired of the colors. So even if they pick, stereotypical pink or whatever, I can maybe mute it with balancing it out with some other, like, I don't know, browns or grays, to make the whole thing a little bit more sort of universally appealing to adults as well as children. Because I think that would be cool to have, for each of them to have sort of like a, what do you call that? A keepsake kind of throw blanket that they could use and feel comforted by when they go off to college and stuff, even though that's many years away still, but not as many years for my daughter. Anyway, I've got the second breast mostly stitched on, and I'm stuffing it. Kind of like a plastic surgeon here. Got to get the shape just right. Fill it out just right. But then the other thing every year at Christmas time that I have to think about is my daughter's birthday, because she is a New Year's baby. She was born on New Year's Day. So her birthday is always a week after Christmas. And I did ask her, because I've been doing this also, is asking all the kids to give me a crochet request if they want to for their birthday. Actually, what I've been doing is saying, is there something that you'd like me to crochet for you? Or would you rather have some spending money? And they've never chosen spending money, which is kind of amazing. Almost in a way, I would rather them pick that, because that would be a lot easier. But I am so honored. Yes, I'm so honored that my kids all really appreciate what I do. They see it as like the coolest thing that they can get custom handmade toys to their liking, to their specifications, and especially with games like that my son likes to play, like Roblox games where they can really customize their characters. Like he has a customized character that he created that I could make a plush of. That was his Christmas request last Christmas. So anyway, there's that. These yarn scraps will go into more of those plastic ornaments because I definitely will be needing to stuff more of those before I'm done doing that. I'm going to be giving those away with all of my packages that I send out through the end of January, as long as I still have supplies, because I may run out of available yarn scraps. Those go through my yarn scraps way, way faster than making the yarn. So look there, I've got her. She's fully endowed. She just needs something. She's got the same pink for her head and arms. I was almost thinking of putting like a flower on her face, but I don't know, maybe something across her belly to break up that big space of the same color. So back to my daughter. She put in her request for her birthday and I haven't started yet. I'm thinking I want to work on it when she's in bed, so like after she goes to bed at night, so that it's mostly a surprise. She doesn't see me working on it. I'll show you a picture of her character and this garment. It's basically a shawl or like a little cape that she wants. So I had her look at my yarns and she picked this pink, which is great because there were a few different pinks that would kind of work. But this one I happen to have, it's like a vintage old acrylic yarn. I would never be able to find more of the pinks that she was looking at. But I happen to have I think 4 skeins of this. So I'm going to use this. I took a measurement of on her body, how far to make it hang down. And I think I'm going to make it hang down maybe about 20 inches or so. 20 inches stitched, always expecting that crochet always stretches out longer when you wear it, especially when you crochet it the way I'm going to crochet it. I'm going to use an extra large hook because this is a worsted weight medium yarn, which usually calls for a size 5mm. I'm definitely going to use a much bigger hook, maybe an 8mm hook, just so it has a nice drape to it. That is something that I've learned in recent years, is using a way larger hook than recommended for the yarn. And it just creates these sort of loosey-goosey stitches that, at least with crochet, creates a much drapier material, more akin to the feel of the drape that knit has. So I think what I'm going to try to do to get this shape that we're looking at here is make individual panels that are kind of like a teardrop shape, and then line them up going around like this to basically create a big half circle, but not coming to a teardrop point at the top, but coming to something like that, and then opening up. I have it in my mind. I just need to start. So I think I'm going to start now, and I'll show you when I have a shape going. Alrighty, so to show you what I've been working on so far, this shape that I've created, it starts narrow at the top and it slowly widens down to the bottom here where it curves around. And I wasn't sure how well this was going to work out for the ultimate shape that I want, because, for each panel that I add, it's, doubling this width at the bottom and doubling this width at the top. And I didn't do tons of math or whatever to try to figure out exactly what type of shape I needed. So I just started winging it, which is perfect because this is a shawl or a cape that looks like wings, kind of. So winging it. And I've got 5 panels put together so far, as you can see here. But I think what I was hoping for and envisioning was more of like a straight line to the bottom. And as you can see, it kind of curves in here and then out, in and then out. So I'm not going to undo any of this. What I'm going to do is, instead of thinking of this as the bottom, the center back here, I'm going to switch it so that this is going off to one side, and I made another panel slightly different, and I just expanded faster at the top to my maximum width already being here. So that should account for this curve in that we have, because now I've got this curve out coming right here. So I'm going to stitch those together, and as you can see, each panel ends up with I end it on this side, and I cut a long strand so that I can use that to stitch down in between. So with this panel expanding wider from the start, I'll attach it there, and when it's all stitched, you know, it'll sort of pull itself, balance itself out. I'm not sure. I may want to do like 2 more panels like this here and here before doing like 5 more panels like this on the other side. And I think just having 3 panels like this will automatically correct this curve out that I have. It'll kind of fill that gap by putting that in the middle there. And then the sides will wrap around to the front. And then once I do that, that might be enough. I'm not sure. No, that won't be enough, I don't think. If I did like 2 more panels like this, 1, 2, and then I did 5 more panels like that on this side, I might still want another few panels, couple panels maybe on each side before calling it done. The other thing I'm trying to decide is, because on the character it's wider on these back ones, and by the time it gets to the front they get smaller sections. I don't know if I want to try to do that or just keep the design a little more simple, because I think either way it's going to be gorgeous, and it doesn't need to be an exact replica of the shape that we see on her character. So I'll get 2 more panels like this made and attached, and we'll check the shaping of it at that point. Upon second thought, I've snugged these together. I don't want the line to start pulling in too much right here if I do 2 more of these panels right after it. So I think what I'll do is I'll attach this, and then I'll do 5 more like this here, and then maybe I'll do another one of these on each side. That'll be around like where that'll like be hanging over, like probably around the shoulders area. That way it's symmetrical. This one will be down the center, and then, like I said, 5 more of these there, and then 1 more of this one, sort of correcting the shape on either side. I think that would be better than putting them right next to each other. I think that'll give me the shape that I'm going for. As you can see, I decided to go with a treble clef on her belly. The yarn I chose isn't a high contrast, so it's kind of a subtle design, but there it is, number 59 in my series. Yay, look how that one in the center really kind of corrected what was happening up here. So that really did, with just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these on each side, with this one sort of corrector shape, gave me what I was going for. So it is still now at this end and the other end curving in a little bit. So I want to do another corrector shape over here and on both sides, but I really do want to have the few at the front not be so wide here, to be a little bit more like her picture. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. So I'm gonna have it expand to my maximum width just as fast as over there, but I'm gonna have my maximum be, I think, this, like half of this. So it'll only be this wide here, and I'll do several more that size. The only thing is I want it to be just as long. So I just need to include of like 4 stitches more, I think. And then I can only attach it here. So it will have more down here that it's not attached. Well, I guess it's the same amount. It'll just be coming down like this, and then it'll go like that. So I'll check back in when I get that shape figured out as I start to go around the front. Let me see. I'll try modeling this for you real quick. Okay, so it really doesn't need all that much more. If I hold it right up to the base of like my head, it's already like kind of enough, but I want it to have a lot more space. Plus, I'm going to go along this top edge with at least 1 round of single crochet, and it'll kind of cinch it in a little bit. So I'm holding it more down like around here. And if I go like this, you can kind of see the shape that it's giving, a little bit like a bird. And so if I'm holding it there, it's more like there. And I want it to be fully, so that if I bring this part together to like tie, I may add a tie to each side here. When I tie it together, I want there to be enough fabric to comfortably like drape down. So I'm thinking maybe at least, and you know what, this is old vintage acrylic yarn that really needs to do some relaxing. So I will definitely give this a sorry about that, my phone was really not secure. I will definitely give this a wash in some warm water and block it, or basically kill the acrylic, and that will make the whole thing lay much nicer. But I'm thinking at least 3 more panels, at least on each side, coming towards the front, much like more narrow panels. So that's what I've got so far. Yeah, and I think a little bit of a self-correcting thing where it increases faster towards the top, like I did at the center back, possibly for all of those panels. I'll do 1 on each side, and I will check and reevaluate then. And just to see the whole thing. For vintage, cheapo acrylic yarn, I think this is going to turn out really cool. By the way, this is what we've got going on right now. It's called an atmospheric river. It started in the middle of the night, and we're supposed to have several days of this. Oh my gosh. We don't use our hot tub anymore because it's broken, and look at the wind blew it open. I didn't even notice before just now. I was asked to bring to Christmas dinner this dessert that I've done before, which is basically my no-bake keto cheesecake recipe, except the crust part is baked. And so it's basically the base of the crust is coconut flour, egg, butter, melted baker's chocolate, melted milk chocolate chips that are sugar-free, and cocoa. And the filling is equal parts cream that I've whipped and cream cheese that I've incorporated into it with some of the chocolate stuff, sweetener drops. I use sucralose and vanilla, and I whip that together with the cream, and that's my filling, and then I top it all with more of the chocolate. Lately, it seems I've been getting about 10 subscribers on YouTube here about once a week. So here's another little celebration. I've hit 380 subscribers, and I will keep celebrating these every 10 subscribers if it keeps happening about once a week. And I look forward to a day when maybe it'll explode and maybe more people will be able to watch and find my videos. In the palm of his hand, may our children and their descendants be the ones to find a lasting peace. May their hopes and dreams become united. May the rest be left for those who hate. And until we meet again, and until we meet again, may love and trust find a way to make us stand. May love and trust find a way to make us stand. May the world and all its wonders be a home to all humanity. May the people find a common purpose. May we help one another to survive. And until we meet again, and until we meet again. Well, hello. It is now Saturday, which means it's been a couple days since I've checked in for this video, but as you just saw, this morning I went out and photographed this beauty. This turned out so lovely, and once again, the light in here is not so great. It is nighttime, so it's dark outside. This is all artificial lighting in here, but there's the pom-pom at the back, coconut shell buttons, and these glorious braided tassels, ties, but I don't think you would ever tie it necessarily at your chin, but you could, I suppose. Look at all the materials in there. There's some sequins, some fuzzies, and these little tassels were a hand-me-down. My good friend Amelia gave me a bag of some hand-me-down craft supply stuff, and it included a bunch of tassels. So I used a few here, and yeah, I love this design. This is the pom-pom bonnet by I'm not sure if I'm saying this right. Rowan, maybe it's just Rowan Made Accessories. I will link to their stuff in the description, including the pattern itself, where I bought it on Etsy. So I really like how this fits and how it feels on. I have made some really cool looking like hood type things before, and sometimes they tend to be kind of heavy in the back, and I don't like that feeling of them kind of pulling back on the back of my head, and this doesn't have that feeling, especially because it has these in the front, and it just, I met gauge and I worked it up exactly as instructed, and it fits super nicely around my head, nice and snug but not too tight, so very comfortable. I love how this feels wearing it. So highly recommend this pattern. My customer who ordered this from me, she's a repeat customer, and she's the one who made this moonstone pendant. So I was happy to make sure to wear this during this morning's photo shoot. Once again, wearing this sweater that I made from Astronauty's tutorial that she has on YouTube. I will also link to that. And I've just now finished my next Nana ahead of time because it's only Saturday. This is the one that I will be releasing this coming Wednesday. So I'm ahead of schedule. I like that. So now I can get to my my actual other orders. So I want to say I kind of slacked over the last couple days, you know, including Christmas, but not really slacked. Basically, I worked on making sure I was ahead on my Nanas, and then I also got mostly done with my daughter's birthday gift. So, but first I wanted to say this Nana is going to be named after Susan Deering. She was an instructor in the music department when I was a student at Fresno State. So she plays violin, and she was kind of my violin mentor there because I played in the string orchestra, and she and her husband, who plays cello, they led that group together. And then she also kind of was my own, you know, sort of private coach. I didn't take formal lessons from her because I was a voice major, not a violin major, but she coached me and she helped me prepare for some violin stuff that I was doing as well. So I adore her. She's wonderful. And she now, along with her husband, Dieter Wolfhurst, both they have a duo that they call Musica Viva, and they put on concerts regularly, free concerts with possible donation for the community, and they go all around, and they sometimes include other people, sometimes they include spoken word, but it's cello and violin always. And I will link to I think they have a website. I will find out, and I will link to their stuff in the description as well. So this is Nana Susan. So number 60. It's my 60th Nana in my series of Nanas against Trump and fascism. And that means that it's been 60 weeks since he was elected, and maybe I won't have to keep making them that much longer. We'll see. But then I also wanted to show you this cape thing that I've been making. So as you can see at the top here, I've kind of gone along back and forth with a few rows, decreasing to bring it around so that because it's really wide, but I wanted to bring it in a bit for around the neck so that when we tie it here, it's not too big. So that's what that is. And then I included ties there. And this is what it looks like along the bottom. So on the front, it has these smaller pieces, and then around towards the back, it has these wider pieces, kind of like feathers. And I figured out this way of stitching around the bottom edge with this lighter pink to kind of square it off a little bit, because that's kind of what her design looks like when her character wearing it in the game from the pictures that she sent me. So what I want to do is I want to see how it's a little crumpled looking because it's just this old acrylic yarn, and I want it to be I want it to just have like a better drape to it and not have like this sort of like pent up crinkled energy in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak it completely and run it through the dryer, and that should kill the acrylic enough that it just sort of drapes nicely. At least run it through the dryer enough so that it gets hot, and then I will stretch it out and let it air dry. So essentially blocking it. You can't really truly block acrylic. So what I'm doing is called killing the acrylic in a way. It's kind of taking some of the bounce out of the acrylic, and it's causing the fibers to slightly melt, and that causes acrylic to have a nicer drape to it. So that's what has happened like with this. This has an assortment of fibers in it. There is some wool in this, but most of it is acrylic. But I've washed it and dried it, and it just like, it eventually starts getting like a loosey-goosey drape to it, and that's from killing the acrylic. So I'm going to do that with this. And then I have one final touch I need to add on this, which is a detail down the center back. I'm gonna crochet in this main body color again, but a smaller stitch, smaller hook, a rectangle that then I can do some embroidery over of these little designs that it's supposed to have. And then I'll attach that, but I'll do that after I kill the acrylic / block it, whatever you want to call it. Two more things I wanted to show you. One, this is my Christmas gift from my partner. Does anybody know what this is?
Hey kids, I'm Strongbat from strongbatallthetimeSoGreat.com. I think that's the URL.
So it has a bunch of little saved recordings in there. And so he was inspired to get me this because when we first met, he was very impressed that I have the Homestar Runner soundtrack on my computer. And so when I played my music on shuffle, some of the songs from that came up, and he was like, You're probably the only person in Fresno who has that album. And I'm like, oh, maybe, I don't know. So this is definitely a perfect addition to the Christmas decor. And then finally, if you haven't noticed yet, which you may not have, I got sick of my thin, long, scraggly hair, and I just decided to chop it off myself. There's so little of it that I just cut it myself, and I eyeballed it in the mirror. I have it pulled back a little bit here right now. And I haven't washed it since I cut it. I only just cut it today. But my mom actually she was a professional hair cutter. She worked at some salons and stuff. And she has always been the person to cut our hair in the family. And she's away on a trip right now. But when she gets back, I kind of want to have it shorter. Like I as soon as I decided this morning I was ready to have it short, I just kept thinking about it, and I kept grabbing the scissors and going, no, I put them down and go, no, I should wait till my mom gets back and let her do it. Because I've just been giving myself little trims myself, but it's like, there's so little hair there. It doesn't really matter. And I always put it into a braid anyway. So it's not like it needs to be like a perfect shape or anything. But I think I did a pretty nice little job of this length, but I think I'd like to have it here. I'll take this down so you can see. I think I'd like to have it be like just about chin length. I think that'll look nicer for how thin my hair is than, at least for when I wear it down, than what I've been doing with clipping it and then trying to keep it put together in a little braid. So at least now I can kind of, any little bit of gathering that I do, it doesn't just like shrivel down to nothing. At least where it's cut, there's a little bit more thickness there at the bottom. So I'm pleased with that for now. And I'm looking to going shorter. I'm just going to let my mom do that because she can do a nice clean line, because that's where it's going to get messier if I try to do it myself. And I don't want to make it a harder job for her to have to clean up. So that being said, I'm going to have a good number of things. Today is Saturday. I don't remember if I said that. I'm going to have a good number of things to ship out on Monday because I didn't ship on Wednesday. Well, I could have. Wednesday was Christmas Eve. And I also didn't ship yesterday on Friday or today because I allowed myself that time to take a Christmas break from at least shipping. I mean, I was still crocheting and stuff, but but now I'm back fully in the swing of things, and now I'm looking at my orders that I need to make. I have 2 ornaments, Flying Spaghetti Monster ornaments to make, and 3 mouth puppets to make, and a pair of gloves to make. I don't remember in what order, but I am going to make the ornaments next. I have meatball yarn out, ready to go for that. And so I'm going to make the 2 ornaments tonight, and I'll see what else I can get done tomorrow. Possibly the rest of it. I'm not sure. We'll see. That'd be cool if I can get all of it done in order to ship by Monday. Yeah, it'll be a good ship day. I look forward to adding that to this video. And then also, I'm going to show you in this video everything I made this year, because I made reels throughout the year of like month by month, like everything I made in January, everything I made in February. There's Friend, by the way. Hi, Friend. Hi. Hi. And so and I saved those reels as I made them. So I'm gonna combine those, and I'll show you everything I made in 2025. It'll be a little collective, and that'll be fun. I'll do that at the end of this video. So stay tuned. All right, here is the cape blocking, and you'll have to wait until next week's video to see the final decorations that I'm going to be stitching down the center back. Also, I've already begun making the gloves, custom made for my customer. I'm doing a lot of cross multiplication to solve for X to scale them down in size, which is fun. And I'm just going to close this out and say, crochet hooks and colors bright, crafting wonders day and night. Join the fun, come see it through, subscribe, and I'll create for you. And keep watching to the end of this video to see everything I made in 2025. Okay, so another way of looking back on the year is all the stuff that I shipped over the year, because a lot of that stuff was made in years previous. And also, this includes a lot of items that I readily make over and over again that I didn't always include in every monthly recap. And I've got one package to ship today, only one. Trisha, your mouth puppet, is on the way.